Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Crimson Vow draft here on the channel. My name is Nikolai, and in this video, I will be going pick by pick and play by play through a Crimson Vow draft, talking through all of my decisions so you know what to do in your own Crimson Vow drafts. If you enjoyed the video, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more draft content, and comment below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. I'm currently about one good draft away from Mythic, so going to be doing my best to win this one. Do my utmost to get those victories. And we have a very interesting pack here because the rare is not an immediate bomb rare must pick. Card's actually pretty horrifically unplayable, so leads us to looking at the uncommons. This uncommon's not particularly good. Whispering Wizard's a little bit finicky to use. Can be good in the right deck, but I'm not going to start with it. Wolfkin Outcast can certainly be good in red-green specifically. A little bit weaker outside of that, so it's basically a gold card for that deck in many senses of the word. There's also Traveling Minister, which is just great in any white deck. And it's probably the best common in this pack. Falconwrath Celebrant's probably the second best common, but it's a 5-drop and this is a 1-drop, so you can definitely get a lot more Traveling Ministers and be pretty happy with it. So I think it's between the Wolfkin Outcast and the Traveling Minister, because I think the Traveling Minister is the best common, and this is the best uncommon. And I think I'm going to land on the Minister just because it goes well in any white deck. Works great in the black-white life gain synergy deck, works great in any aggro deck, and just most of the white decks are somewhere along those lines. Okay, so we've started off with Traveling Minister. The rare is missing out of this pack. This is a Guardian Paladin, which, I mean, kind of puts me into green-white, which is one of the weaker archetypes, and it's a very committal card. I only have like a Traveling Minister. It doesn't mean I have to play blue. There's also a Bloodcrazed Socialite as a great, like, aggressive creature. Works better if you can generate some blood, but it's also just fine in any black deck. There's not really great options of sticking to white, like Radiant Grace isn't good. Piercing Light is okay, but not really a priority. I'm not a huge fan of Thirst for Discovery as much. Like, it's a good card, but I don't prioritize it as much because there's multiple ways to get card draw in blue, and so you only want a couple of them anyway. So I think here it's between like Bloodcrazed Socialite and like Falconwrath Celebrants maybe. I think Bloodcrazed Socialite's pretty good. And White-Black Life Gain's a pretty good home for the Minister. But again, pretty non-committal pick here. So far, at least. Okay, moving on to pick 3. The cards that immediately jump out to me, again, the rare and an uncommon are missing, so not huge signals yet. But Flameblessed Bolt is excellent, and Gluttonous Guest is quite good. And then after that, there is like Weaver of Blossoms and Sporecrawler as solid green cards, but I think nothing's on par with these two. Grisly Ritual's playable, Blood Fountain's playable. The best two are certainly the Bolt and the Guest. Bolt would mean I can't play all of my first picks. But, I mean, I haven't necessarily seen any white signals yet, and just taking the best card early is still quite good. So I think I'm just going to nab the Flame-Blessed Bolt, and I'm fine playing black-red, or white-black, or white-red. Giving up a Gluttonous Guest could be painful depending on my final deck, but I think it's better to just take the more powerful card here. And now a relatively weak pack. Scattered Thoughts is pretty good. Geistlight Snare is a card I've been wanting to try just because I've been really much higher on counter spells, and so in some decks this could probably do the trick. Scattered Thoughts is pretty solid as a card draw. There's a Nurturing Presence, which I've been impressed by in certain decks. But overall, pretty interesting pack. I'm a little bit lower on Binding Geist than I used to be. Same with Steelclad Spirit, a little bit lower than I used to be. Not sure exactly what to take here. Not really any green cards. We're seeing a lot of blue cards in this pack, so maybe I just nab a blue card, like take a Scattered Thoughts. Or maybe just a Binding Geist or a Geistlight Snare. Maybe I'll just take the Geistlight Snare as a counterspell, so maybe I get to try it out, see how good it is. Okay. There's another Geistlight Snare. Don't think the Squire is very good. Wolf is okay, but green's the only color we're not in, so I don't really see a reason to dive in now. Guess we'll just take the Snare. I do like a Siphon Essence. I do like counterspells in general in this set. It's also Blood Petal Celebrant. And there's also Lumberknot. I mean, the only two good cards are Celebrant and Siphon Essence. Celebrant is a better card, undoubtedly, but not as good defensively, because 2-1 defender is not the best. Getting deeper into one color is also kind of nice. Being able to play at instant speed is kind of nice. I'm just going to take the Siphon Essence. And then just stick to blue for a while. Keep taking these instant speed cards. Give me some flexibility. Spore Crawler is pretty solid. Heron of Hope is pretty solid, especially with the Traveling Minister, but I'm just going to take Chill of the Grave. Gift of Fangs is a reasonable removal spell. There's some white cards, but fine with the gift. Fear of Death is not very good, but this whole pack is pretty bad. I don't like the Selhoff Entomber very much. I'll just take Fear of Death. And now Piercing Light as a nice defensive option that's cheap for interaction. Blood Fountain can be fine as a one-of in a lot of decks. My deck is looking very heavy on the counters magic, so I do hope to get some instant speed card draw, like Scattered Thoughts or whatever. I do remember passing one of those. Specimen to find one of for a lot of decks. Red didn't look particularly open. Blue wasn't particularly open either. I just saw cards that I like playing. I'll just pass a green card. Green's the only color I'm not going to play, for sure. This does make Fear of Death a little bit better, because it makes my Geist Light Snare cost less. Okay, pack 2, and we see... I mean, Maniform Hellkite is pretty good. And we got a last pick Lacerate Flesh, so maybe red is going to be open in pack 3. Non-creature spell, create an XX dragon creature token. I mean, it's also a 4/4 flyer for 4. The only other card in consideration is also a red card. It's the Vampire's Vengeance, which is just a great sweeper for if you're like trying to hold up counter magic and other instant speed stuff. But I think we'll try the Hellkite. Pretty strong rare. Okay. Brinecomer. This is a good card. But the white did not seem open. We got a Pierce. We first picked the Traveling Minister. We're not going to play black probably now that we have the Maniform Hellkite. Evolving Wilds is always nice. Geist Light Snare is nice. Reckless Impulse is really bad in this deck because I have 3 counter spells, so I'm not really looking to play that, even though I've been impressed with it overall in a lot of my decks. Another Geist Light Snare could be the pick. I don't know. I kind of want to just... I sometimes like to just go to the extremes with that sort of card, but I just love me Evolving Wilds. Just opens up my deck possibilities a lot. Maybe we'll wheel this card. Maybe nobody else wants it. So yeah, I like getting Evolving Wilds when I can. This gives me... There's more consistent mana, so I lose less games to just doing nothing. Currently I have 1 creature, only the Maniform Hellkite. That would make things difficult to win if that was my only creature at the end of this. I will be looking for a couple of instant speed card draw effects, maybe some instant speed removal if I can get it. Maybe I'll consider splashing if I do get the tools to do so. The Hellkite's quite good. If you have instants, you can even use the creatures to block. Okay. So, not seeing any blue cards I'm interested in. I don't really want the Cruel Witness because I don't want to be tapping out. I'd rather be holding up my counters at that point. Wolf Strike is great. Restless Bloodseeker can be good. Not really in the market for a guest. I guess we'll take the Evolving Wild. By invitation only is really good. It's a nice board sweeper. Maybe I just speculate on that. Because I could still just be white-blue. Even though white didn't look open. Maybe I just get enough white cards in this pack. And I already have one Evolving Wilds. Okay. The Geistlight Snare. We wield the Piercing Light. There's a Steelclad Spirit. Circle of Confinement is a nice one. I do like Scattered Thoughts as well. It's looking like I'm just going to bank on some white cards this pack. And then not really worry about pack 3 as much. Scattered Thoughts would also be good, but I like just cheap removal. Especially with my 3 Geistlight Snares. The enchantment's really nice to have. Okay. Random Flyer, random 3/3 Defender, Blood Servitor. Don't really want any of these cards, but I think the Militia Rallier might be the best one, just because it's a defensive creature. 3/3 blocker is pretty reasonable. I could also just take Falcon Wrath Celebrants in case I abandon the white cards again. Go back towards red. Probably okay doing that. Not really going to miss a 3/3. I'm pretty much only care about cards that cost 2 or less, and then another Geistlight Snare, pushing it to the extremes. I'm probably going to wheel that other one. And then I have a couple of enchantments. There will be snares. There's also Heron Blessed Geist as a flyer for the top end. Nurturing Presence, which will make my Geistlight Snares cost 1 if I'm able to get it onto a creature. I think I'd rather have a 2/2 that can die into a point of life, because I don't have a lot of creatures in this deck. I have 2 creatures right now. Sigard's Imprisonment is great here as a removal spell that also helps me get my Geistlight Snares to cost less. This really isn't a great Traveling Minister deck, given that I have 1 creature. Boom, Geistlight Snare came back. Let's go. 5 copies of an uncommon does not happen very often. I'm going to take the Nurturing Presence now. It makes Geistlight Snare into a 1-mana counter. Now we get the Geist. Another Geist. Man, this deck is really coming together. It's really coming together. Nurturing Presence is actually going to be nice because it gives me both elements for the Geistlight Snare. Okay, I love me a Fierce Retribution here. Don't really need a random 6-drop flyer. I've already got these Heron Blessed Geist as win cons. I already have an Evolving Wilds, and Fierce Retribution is a nice removal spell for this sort of deck. I already have Piercing Light. Traveling Minister is probably not going to make the cut. But it could. I can always add it back later if I want to. Don't really like Boarded Window. Just not my favorite card. There is, however, a Lantern Bearer. There's also a Braid, but we're going to just stick to the by invitation only plan. I would like to get some instant speed card draw, but I don't know how likely that is at this point. Lantern Bearer is just nice as a cheap spirit to help my Geistlight Snares cost 2. Because if I play this on turn 1, it'll peck in for quite a bit of damage. Steelclad Spirit, again, great little defensive body for this deck. Also makes my guys cost less. Spirit, we have a few spirits. 4 to be precise. I'll take a Drogskull Infantry, another spirit. That also doubles as an enchantment. I pretty much just need 2 drops, and then anything to make this Geist Light, and then I just need to be able to like trade off and then play Geist Light Snare. If I have Lantern Bearer, I can even play Geist Light Snare on turn 2. And I have By Invitation Only as a great removal spell for cleaning up the board. Not a huge fan of Soul Cipher board. It does give me something to spend my mana on, but I think I'd rather just have Piercing Light. It's a way I can just hold up all my mana, instant speed, deal with their stuff. I would really like a Scattered Thoughts. We saw 2 of them, but we were never able to take them, I don't think, because I took like superior cards at the time. Wow, late Blood Tithe Harvester. Don't really like the Beguiler. Don't really like the Infiltrator guy either. So, Invitation though, so I'll just take the Beguiler. Drog Skull. So we have one more crack at the apple when it comes to finding a Scattered Thoughts. And we did not find it. We did get another Panic Bystander though. I think that's better than Adamant Will. Sad day. Okay, we get a Screaming Swarm. Warded Window, maybe there's a chance to try it out. I don't think it's very good, but could be good in the right matchup. I don't really have any blood tokens to ditch it though. How good is Selhoff and Tumor with 2 Drogskull Infantries, a Lantern Bearer? Maybe it's fine in this deck. Minister ended up pretty solid as well, I'd say. We have some choices to make. I guess Soul Cipher board gets in as a way to spend my mana when I'm not using my counter magic. It's unfortunate, but that's the way of the world. Sometimes you gotta play stuff you don't want to play. In the deck construction aspect here. 17 lands seems reasonable. Let's cut Boarded Window just because it's bad. We'll cut Chill of the Grave. Screaming Swarm. Okay, I've already cut the Chill of the Grave, the Screaming Swarm. We're going to do this for Science, 6 counter spells. Nurturing Presence doesn't seem necessary anymore because I just have a lot of spirits on my own. Soul Cipher board seems good in this build. Selhoff and Tumor could be solid. Do I want the Minister? Probably just gain me some life. This guy still just doesn't necessarily do anything. Not a relevant creature type. Okay. I think this is going to be fine. I think the deck kind of wishes it had a card draw spell at instant speed. Not sure when I'm supposed to take that, though. I could cut the Traveling Minister, but I do like having some life gain. I guess this is some life gain. And I could cut the Traveling Minister for a Chill of the Grave. I think we'll just try it like this, and I'll see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my content, my channel, at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special shout out to those at the credits level. It is thanks to Patreon support that I'm able to make as many videos as I do, so if you found my videos to be of some value, maybe they've helped you win a couple of extra games on the arena ladder, or maybe you've crushed your FNM because of some of my advice, and you want to help me continue making the videos, then Patreon is the best way to do so, and as my way of saying thank you, you even gain access to some pretty cool Patreon exclusive rewards, like access to my card-by-card grade spreadsheet, my tier list for Crimson Vow, which is an excellent bonus resource to help you crush your competition, especially early on in the format when a lot of people don't know how to evaluate the cards. But anyway, I do hope you are enjoying the video so far, regardless of whether or not you decide to become a patron, and without further ado, let's get to the games. Welcome to round 1. We're We're going to keep this hand on the draw. Got Minister to gain us some life. Fear of Death. Heron Blessed Geist. Lots of stuff we like to see. And we can always change the deck between rounds. It's partly an experiment, just seeing how the counterspell plays out. Okay, that's the perfect candidate for a Fear of Death. Ooh, that could be really good. Just keep gaining life. We shall counter that. I'll play the Heron Blessed Geist. I just want to have a normal board state, and then I can use by invitation only to make everyone sacrifice everything after they've used more of their spells. Okay. Crushing Canopy down. It is now nighttime. So they're going to clock me pretty quickly here. They probably think I'm holding up a counterspell, which normally with this deck I would be. This is why instant speed card draw is so important for this sort of deck. I just missed out on that piece, and it's really bad. Also, drawing all lands here is pretty horrific. Like, I mean, they have 6 spells, I have like none. There's the Soul Cypher board I wanted like years ago. That could be good. I have plenty of mana. Ah, criminy. Ooh, I get to just ditch the Heron Blessed Geist. Nice. They're going to get to draw a card of some kind. I should have done that pre-combat so I could attack for an extra 1. I was hoping to be able to use Piercing Light. Yep. Yep. So I can discard this plains, and I can... Sure. I want to make use of this scry. We'll draw normally. And then we'll flip that when we actually have mana available to use it. What is in their hand? Go to 1-mana counter. That was useless. I don't need to attack just yet. Probably going to exile the Cipherbound Spirit. Kind of need to attack with these things because I don't really have that much damage left in the deck. Yeah, I don't really want to deal with that. I don't know if I have enough damage to win this game. I don't have 5 turns to hit them. Oh my gosh. Don't have the mana for this. What do they do? Oh gosh. How many Drogskol infantries do I have? Oh, I still have both of them. There's a Drogskol infantry in here that I'm going to draw. And I think I've got this win. So I draw 2 cards from this, discard the Drogskol Infantry, play Drogskol Infantry on this guy, or on this thing, hit them. And now we have we have 1 lethal flyer. Yes, we got there. Just barely, though. Wow, Cipherbound Spirit doing work. That was a weird game. I'm starting to think Selhoff and Tumor might be good. Also, these Heronbound Blessed Geists were incredible. No cards left in deck, no problem. They played around my sweeper quite effectually, actually. Oh, now they're just roping out of rage or something. I don't know. Not great sportsmanship. They're dead on board. They know they're dead on board. The spirits were too much. I feel like this is the most spiritish deck I've had. Lots of spirit stuff. 5 Geistlight Snares. Oh, man. Lots of cool cards in this deck. I haven't ever played with the Ouija board before. They could have actually like tried to dig for an answer. They could have like gotten rid of this. A little bit frustrating, but Steelclad Spirit did some work, hit him for a bit. And the rest is history, as they say. I'll see you folks next round. Welcome to round 2. I have not made any changes to the deck yet. Just still figuring out how this stuff works. I could definitely add more win cons. I could add like the 6-mana 4/4 flyer or something like that. You're late, Lantern Bearer. Should be fine though. I wonder how much damage this Lantern Bearer is going to do. Probably a lot. Classic Sporeback Wolf shenanigans. I'll probably Geistlight Snare earlier rather than later. So I guess I can Geistlight Snare for only 1 mana coming up. I'm okay with that because I can Piercing Light it. I'll keep that on top. No, my Ouija board. Or Soul Cipher board. No, that card would have been so good for me. Oh, that's like the best card in my deck somehow. Got Siphon Essence at the ready. I'll Plains the Ditch to it. Trading just 1-for-1 without like a way to refill is a little bit tough for sure. I do have some Disturb stuff. Is it just like a 2-for-1? But so far, Lantern Bearer just carrying me home here. They have 5 spells in hand, presumably. Oh, no, 4 spells. 4 spells in hand. The Ridge Wolf. I've already used my only blood token, so I might as well play my land so I can maybe use Retribution if I need to. Child back, sure. By invitation only is going to be good against that card. But I think I'll just kill it now. I mean, I only need one creature to win this game, and that creature is Lantern Bearer. 6 points of the way there, Lantern Bearer. Okay, that guy does hit harder than Lantern Bearer. Once I find my Heron Blessed Geist, then I'll be in great shape. I have 2 of those lurking somewhere. It's crazy how it feels like they're always playing around a count like a board sweeper here. I'm gonna make it feel like I don't have a counterspell by just doing this now. Because now they don't have to worry. Then now they're gonna be like, oh, he doesn't have a counterspell. He's just has nothing to do. And so then now they might overextend into my by invitation only. Okay, that's not good to see. That is not good to see at all. Have they just been sandbagging lands? Lantern Bearer has officially done 10 damage. I guess I could have just not played this guy and just like tried to leverage my board sweeper better. That might have been better. I was thinking I'll gain 2 life at the very least when I use my board sweeper now, which is nice. So they did just have a bunch of extra lands. Interesting. But I'm thinking having this also make them commit more to the board. Could actually present them a decent clock. Play another creature? Luckily I gain a life, so they need a pump spell and... Dang it. Oh man. I can't tell if that was just unlucky or... I mean... Let's see, how far into my deck was I? I mean, drawing 9 lands in that amount of time is not that unreasonable. I guess I drew 12 lands. Well, I had a lot of spells left. I didn't draw a single one of my counter spells. Would have been pretty good for stopping this thing. I mean, I just didn't... my board sweeper felt like it wasn't lining up properly to use it. Weird. I wish I had a card draw on this deck. That's really one of the big downsides of this One is that I just didn't see card draw at times when I was able to pick it, I think. And I could have guessed I second picked counter magic. Maybe I'm also supposed to play Shrieking Swarm. Give me something else to do. I just didn't draw any of my action. I just drew all lands that game, it felt like. Or maybe my deck just has a lot of stuff to do early game and then it just doesn't do anything for a while. I think I might have countered something at one point. I feel like my opponents are playing around my board sweeper just in unlucky ways, just like they happen to not have any creatures to play. Which is how it goes sometimes. Like I've been trying to make them extend into it. The fact that Lantern Geist did 10 damage that game was insane. It's a lot of damage for a Lantern Geist to do. But maybe I do just... I mean, yeah. 2 Scattered Thoughts would make this deck a lot better. Classic. Opponent username Mythic in the middle of Platinum. Okay, this is a good hand. Got 1 drop, followed by a counterspell if we need it. Or we could just totally let the situation escalate and then use by invitation only to clean it up. But I really want to make sure I can hit this card and play it before I start planning for playing it. Let's counter that. We don't know when we're going to be able to play the invitation only. Let's just get our creatures out, start hitting for a little bit. Bridge Wolf, sure. Okay. Now we have both, so our counterspell only costs 1 if we really need it. You're gonna have to show me a little bit more than that to make me afraid. Now that's a card. So if they don't have 2 removal spells that can deal with Lantern Bearer, I win. Or a way to kill Traveling Minister. I'm not even going to need by invitation only. So I'll manage the tempo draw. I feel like my Geistlight snares are a lot better when I'm on the front foot, so maybe that's a lesson learned. You kind of curve out with your spirits, and then you have the Geistlight Snare as like a real nice ploy to use. Sure. If they have Adamant Will, I have Fierce Retribution. Got there. Ooh. Okay. Maybe I need to restructure the deck, make sure I have all my 2-drops in place. Also, I really like having maybe a Selhoff Entomber in this deck. Maybe that's just the ticket. Gives me a thing to do. Maybe I want to put the Selhoff Entomber and the extra 4/4 flyer in. I don't really like that guy because I don't have a lot of creatures. Okay, so I added the Screaming Swarm and I cut up Island. I think that's reasonable. I tried to add the Selhoff Entomber. Chill the Grave. Doesn't really seem that good. I have a lot of good 2-drops to play. My deck is pretty cheap, so having an extra top-end card could be nice. We'll see how it works out. 2-1 so far. I believe 3 wins away from Mythic, so if I can go on a little bit of a streak here, get some victories in a row, back to back to back. I've just been a real big fan of counterspells in this format. They seem pretty good. There's a lot of cards to answer, and they're all different types a lot of the time. Okay, so immediately getting to see this perform, maybe. We'll keep this. On the draw, by invitation only can really catch us up. Geistlight Snare is fine. We do need to draw 2 lands in the first 4 or 5 turns, but after that we're going to be golden. Jeez Louise, it's like a bird that has an octopus for a head. Yikes. Terrifying. Oh, it doesn't have flavor text. Keep this. Wow, Lantern Bearer makes his hand so much better because now Geistlight Snare is a 2-drop. I considered not attacking because of like Piercing Light. I figured they wouldn't want to use Fierce Retribution on this. Card draw is something I don't want to see. I wanted them to play creatures. So I will counter their card draw. Oh, they are stuck on lands with nothing to do. I'm liking the look of the Screaming Swarm. We'll let whatever they want resolve for a while. Anything but card draw. Ah, so they have Undying Malice. I could play Heron Blessed Geist as a ploy to get bait out the Undying Malice. Heron Blessed Geist. I think that's a good play, because Undying Malice will give them a board state after. And that's the only reason I think of to hold up a black mana like that. Maybe they don't have it. This just gives me a lot of stability, makes them overextend more into the board. Or use Grizzly Ritual. And now I can just get a 2-for-1 with my Sweeper. And I have a couple of removal spells at the ready. So I have 4 cards, I have 5, plus my 2 graveyard resources. They have a blood token. They have an extra land. It's a pretty close game, but I feel very favored right now. Just because I have so many answers. Going to want to get this Geistlight Snare to be used sooner rather than later, so it doesn't become dead. Okay, so now it's 4 versus 4. We will imprison that. Unlocks our Geistlight Snares as well. Because I want to be able to get rid of this permanently. I think they have Undying Malice. I'd rather do that than Fear of Death it, because then if they have other life gain, this thing sticks around. Until they have other life gain in play, I don't have to worry about it as much. I'll just hold up my Geistlight. I don't know why it tapped me like that. Sure, I have multiple creatures in play, so I don't need to worry. I can trade my Panicked Bystander for their Skulking Killer if they do try to attack me. Sure. Got my infantry here. Could have gone for a Fear of Death, but I don't really want to. I'd rather just trade my guy off. What about a no to that one? Sorry, Bleed Death. Spirits don't bleed. Oh, it sounds like something super cool to say in a movie. Spirits don't bleed. Hello, Undying Malice. I've been waiting for you. I've been expecting you. We played around it with our sweeper. They're going great. Let's get this party over. I'm going shields down for a turn, but realistically, a lot of spells they cast are going to be able to not be countered by this anyway. Boom. 2 wins away from Mythic with a pretty cool deck.
The Shrieking Swarm did not feel super necessary.
But it's kind of nice to have a recursive threat. Something to just play over and over. I don't know. It's hard to say sometimes. It didn't really do much that game, but in other games I could see it being good. Especially because I can mill myself if I need to get myself some extra card advantage. Because I do have those Heron Blessed guys. Whatever they're called. The 3/3s. Heron Blessed Geist. A lot of Geists. It's almost like a popular party that's only for invited guests. Only for invited Geists. Like my board sweeper. Wow. They try to play Skulking Killer against me. That's hilarious. Skulking Killer is such a funny card. Whenever it goes off, it feels amazing. It's like, yes. We did it. Ooh, nice hand. On the play. Just in case they have a 1/1 haste creature. Here I'm wishing that the Screaming Swarm was a island. Classic. Oh man. Shocks. Ain't that just peachy? Oh, we got trouble. Right here in River City. I wonder if they'll attack into my piercing light. There's no way to come out ahead of the Blood Tithe Harvester. It's gonna get you, no matter what. So we've got all our counter spells at the ready. Yikes. As long as they're just drawing cards and I'm just drawing cards, I'm okay with the situation. They're way ahead because they have blood tokens right now. And, presumably more land drops to hit. Or maybe they just don't have a 4-drop, or they have a bleed dry or something. We're gonna snare you. Because snare is going to have an expiration date. They might have bleed dry. Bleed dry. Don't really care about the guest. Doesn't hit me particularly hard. It's going to gain them a lot of life. But it's not the biggest problem. Soul Cipher board was great draw. A great draw indeed. Now I don't look suspicious when I hold up my mana. Okay, if they work through their blood tokens, I'll be pretty happy. Soul Cipher board, you're my only hope. No, not true. I've got plenty of hopes. Just don't abrade my Soul Cipher board, please. Please. They have 2 more lands than me and 2 blood tokens, but I've got a decent board. Okay. Give their guy +2/+2. One way to play it. I don't really want to deal with a 5/4. now I can use my Siphon Essence. Using Gift of Fangs aggressively on your 1/4 seems interesting. I don't care about that guy. I've already got plenty of defense up. This guy can hold that back. I'll gain a life a turn. No, thank you. I don't really want Bleed Dry to get my guys. I'm getting all lined up to just jam this Screaming Swarm and stabilize. They get to go through some blood tokens. So I'm essentially only taking 2 a turn because I'm gaining a life a turn from the Traveling Minister. Don't really want to deal with that guy. Oh dear. I guess I'll have to find my by invitation only now. There will be blood tokens. Okay. I'm all out. Blood Fountain's good against me. Okay. That's pretty okay for me, I think. A decent exchange. A counter for the Soul Cipher board. Ho 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 ho. Nice. And that could even flip this thing. No. Charge. Fierce Retribution is one of my better draws, but Island certainly wasn't. Holding out hope that I could have milled something there. Still have quite a few useful cards. No! No! It's exiled. So they have 6/7, so I can counter their guy. Imagine if I get to counter this for 1 mana on turn like 20. I can even ditch this extra island. Sure. Get out of here, buddy. This card has been so good. Oh my gosh. I've been doubting this card a lot, and it is just killing it for me right now. Also, Traveling Minister is overpowered, as was suspected. Okay, I'm just going to keep this up, hold up my Geistlight Snare. I wish I had just tapped differently, but alas, I did not. They're going to play this in something else. Sure. Ouch. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. They only have 10 cards left in their deck. Still, this is a tall order. Saving this for something big, hopefully. Try to Piercing Light the Blood Tithe Harvester if I can. Scry, ho 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 ho, let's go. That's a great card to draw. Boom. Hello, Heron Blessed guys. Nice to see you. Welcome. No! What? Why? The humanity. That's unfair. Opponent, why? Oh, it's so unfair. They're too strong. Okay. Let's go. They might not have a way to kill a 4/4 flyer. And that's what I'm banking on. Last draw. Oh, did we get there? Did we get there? Did we get there? Please. Please, sir. Yes! What a game. What a game indeed. Got there. Heron Blessed Geist to the rescue. Whoo! We managed to beat the Blood deck. That was insane. Now we're 1 win from Mythic. What a game. That one was close. Lots of key decision points there. Counter spells coming in huge at key moments. How many Geist counters did we cast that game? We cast a lot of them. Cast quite a few. We're 1 win away. After that, we can just O2 it, but hopefully we can just jump into Mythic here. A decent position. Okay, we got our Soul Cipher board, we got a Piercing Light, we got our Screaming Swarm. This could be the one. Oh, they're also Diamond 1 trying to get into Mythic. So they're trying hard. It's going to be a battle of the ages here. Epic battle for sure. Gonna lead with our Drogskol infantry. Dig up, get in the land. Okay, playing against black-green. Never mind. I don't know whether I'm supposed to do that or just hold up my counter spell. Guess I was punished. I find that I've been consistently punished when I try to do anything except the most basic of plays of holding up counterspell every time. Okay, so this thing's gonna flip. It's gonna make my Geistlight Snare a lot worse. Wow, just so punished by it becoming nighttime. Disaster. Whew. That was nice. We played around Syncopate. Didn't play around the Snare. Kind of want to hold this so I can double spell to make it daytime again. But at the same time, probably best to just get it out on the battlefield. They're still playing lands. Easy block. We even have Piercing Light if they do have some sort of trickery here. To kill my Steelclad Spirit or Pump or something. They could have Sure Strike. shadows, that's for sure. And now it's going to be daytime again. My card out. Gain another life. Untap, land, swarm. Attack, mill myself. They're in a little bit of trouble here. Unless they top deck Wolf Strike like an absolute beast. Then they're not in trouble at all. Trouble? What is trouble? I'm going to play the Lantern Bearer. I know I can cause it to become nighttime, but now I'm threatening lethal. And if I chump block, which I'm going to do, then my Panic Bystander becomes a lot scarier. So they might have an interaction spell. But I still think I go for it. That's a win. Into Mythic. Let's go. Huge. We did it. Whew, it feels good to make it into Mythic. Let's see where we spawn in. Oh, Mythic. Oh, it doesn't say yet. Wow, that was exciting. This deck is really cool. I think it's a really fun deck, really interesting deck. And we'll have to see exactly where we spawn in here. Hopefully somewhere relatively high up. Number 600. Excellent positioning here. 2 more games to play with this deck. One way or the other. I guess if I win one then lose twice, I could play even 3 games more with this deck. But once you get into Mythic, the ranking thing starts to really pinball around. So sometimes I just stop playing once I get to Mythic. Wow, how are we both number 600? There can only be one. There can only be one. Well, this is a great hand. Maybe the best hand I've had all draft. Just in getting a great start, followed by a counterspell. Just 2 number 600s. Okay. Let's just give them the Hedron. The Hedron Jazz Hands, or whatever that is. Okay, Ragged Recluse. I don't mind that one. I'm hoping they don't block, because then I get through more damage. But if they do block, I will use Piercing Light. I like to slow down their mana ramp and then kill their 2-drop. Don't really want the Panic Bystander. Rather have a counterspell. Even the land is fine to get me closer to the swarm. But a counterspell would have been just the ticket. Because every counterspell represents another 3 damage. Restless Bloodseeker, okay. Okay, they did not fall for my bluff. My bluff attack. What do they have? Bleed dry? Not the worst mills. Don't have bleed dry. What do they have? Do they have a board sweeper? What is happening? If they do have a board sweeper, I'm certainly not playing around it. At least not right now. Gosh, so I've milled 2 Geistlight Snares. I still have 3 in the deck, and a Siphon Essence. Diagraph Scavenger. Haha, I have not milled any creatures. You'll have to go for your own creatures. Diagraph Scavenger. Oh, okay, that's going to be a good combo with this thing. Still milling myself, of course. Say we're in good shape here. They're facing down some serious pressure. We have Screaming Swarm, which can keep coming back. Okay. It's a 2/2. And the bat. Get back a Ragged Recluse, sure. So they have 1 good block. They eat that. They trade there. Block there, take 3. Or they eat there, take an extra couple. And then I get to use the Lantern Bearer. I think I attack all. There's the Heron Blessed Geist that I was looking for. Oh, clever opponent. I don't have any enchantments anymore. Or maybe I never did. Wow, I don't have that many lands left. Blood Fountain, eh? Ah, they moved to combat too quickly. Wow, that's an aggressive attack. Okay. So I can play this. Go to combat. Attack with all. They go block, block. My guy dies. I get to buff this up to a 3/3. My Soul Cipher board gets 1 closer. Ah, the Faithbound Judge. Bound to face some crazy bomb eventually. was inevitable. I'm in trouble. Courier bat's really good here. We'll get our Soul Cipher board action on. That's a card. They can start draining me out with this guy, which is a problem. Play this. I'll just get this back if I attack, so I have to just go for an Alpha Strike at some point here. Play the Heron Geist stuff. I can clear their flyer. Oh, they had the mana to activate that? Oh no. Cost 5. He did have a lot of mana, I guess. I was super close. Just Faithbound Judge being a 4/4 is just too much to handle, I think. And having a second one of those is not good for me. Big mill here. Ooh. Kill the judge. They're at 12, essentially. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm so close. Gosh, would I have... Oh my gosh, I would have won if my other card there was a creature to mill to make my Soul Cipher board. If I had chumped this to flip my Soul Cipher board, would I have won? I would have gone... I would have 1, 2, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, and they would have gained... No, they'd be at 1. Okay. Dang it. So they did have an answer as well. All that hard work for nothing. That is unfortunate. So this thing can attack now. Yeah, unfortunately, they just have the inevitability here because their Traveling Minister gained them a lot of life. I was really close to winning this game, but it was way earlier, and I was still tempoing them out. I needed more counterspells early. My counterspells are actually like my best cards, and I just didn't draw them. Yep. This game's over. I can't win. I was so close. Yep. They just need to attack all, pretty much. Yep. Ugh. Rats. That's unfortunate. I felt like I was in okay shape to win that one. Oof. Yeah. I would have been fine if I'd drawn a key counterspell on the right turn, I think. But I just didn't get what I needed down the stretch. Oh, man. They just had just enough life gain to stop me. Dang it. Ugh. Losing 400 ranking points for one loss is tilting. Okay, we'll keep it on the draw. Just start with the Minister. It looks like they're an aggressive deck, so the life gain could be handy. Also, if they have a burn spell, then they don't get to get rid of one of my disturbed creatures right off the bat. So they can't get through with their Epicure. Nice. And they're stuck on lands. Huge. Okay. Okey-doke. We don't take any damage. We gain a life. Just gonna pass with my Geist Light Snares up. No, they hit a land. I was hoping they would just hit like an expensive spell. Because that's the dream. They just take 2 damage for nothing. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. An island would be nice. Mill 2 lands. Nope, only 1 land. Okay. This is just unfortunate in the way this is breaking down, but we can still win. Pretty nifty deck still, regardless of the fact of whether or not it's working out just now. Couple of tough losses at the end, maybe. Ceremonial Knife, okay. The card does not strike me as very good. But, then again, what do I know? I'm just getting pummeled by 2 lands here. Worst land I could have drawn, but still better than not drawing a land. Just gonna hold up my counter spell still. Lantern Bearer doesn't do much for me right now. Blood Fountain's really good against me. I do not want to deal with that card. You get a blood token, and you get a blood token. I'm surprised they're not using their blood tokens. That must mean they have a very good hand. Or some insane payoff that I'm going to get wrecked by. Like the rare one that makes 2/2 bats or something. Okay, well, Piercing Light's about to be very good here. Or I could just trade off Lantern. Oh, you gotta be joking. No, 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 no. Why does this have to be exiles, too? Oh, man. Oh, that's devastating. That's brutal. Super brutal. You gotta do it, you gotta do it. Traveling Minister, go. Fly, be free. Not the best moment here. Ugh, aim for the head. Pretty good. Okay, they have lacerated my guy. They have 6 blood tokens. And I still can't draw a land. Huh. Well, I guess the herons weren't going to be doing much anyway. That would have been a land if I had kept the island in. Ah! Luckily, I have my one answer in Fierce Retribution. If they have Undying Malice, I'm going to be pretty sad. Okay, they get 2 more blood tokens. There's some alt win con of getting infinite blood tokens and just winning because of it. Because if so, I'm in trouble. Why are they not cracking their blood tokens is the question. There we go. We're gonna have to work through them eventually. Wow, I actually get to gain some life here. Nice. Oh no, only if it's a vampire. They just have infinite blood tokens. It's insanity. Good job, Piercing Light. I wish I had kept the Heron Blade Blessed guy instead of the Piercing Light. At the time, I was kind of afraid of them just having like a random 2-1. Here we go. Jeez Louise, they have discarded a lot of lands. Celebrants, sure. I don't want them to be able to use all their blood tokens, so I'm just going to mill them. Depending on what they do here. And they only have 11 cards left, so every time they do this, they are getting closer to decking. Just going to counter that on principle. That thing's kind of scary. I would like to get this thing back out in action, so I will use that now. I'm guaranteed to draw it 2 turns from now. And I do have my counterspell here. Another counterspell. Please, Mana Leak, please! Save me! I mean, they have 9 cards left. They have discarded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lands. Sure. Haha, Piercing Light is going to come in handy. I knew it. Oh, I'm shields down. No! Not what you like to see. Okay. Moment of truth. Just have to fade a removal spell for a turn. I have to fade 2 removal spells because I can stop one of them with my counter magic. They only have 3 cards left in their deck. Oh my gosh. I think we got there. Wow, what a crazy game. They had so many blood tokens. What was happening? That's the most blood tokens I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I think we did it. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. What an insane game. We had our kill spell for their 6/6, and that was all we needed. Oh my gosh. They just, yeah, couldn't do anything. Let's go. Let's see how many ranking points we go up after one win. We went down about 400 when we lost, and obviously we go up about 80 when we win, because that's how ranks work, apparently. Don't understand it. Oh my gosh. So enraging, honestly. We're going to go for the trophy, though. I'm glad we decided to play the 6-mana 4/4 flyer, because it has proven quite nice. Whew. Okay, I know I've been quiet. I'm just thinking before the key moment here. Final moment, facing Captain Brown. Let's see if we can get the W in this final and decisive game. Huge. We have the buy invitation only. We have some early game plays. Maybe we'll even flip a panicked bystander this round. Oh, yes. We're going to attack with the Minister. We're on probably the beatdown here. No, they have deal 2. Son of a gun. That's a bad start. Not auspicious, as they say. Not auspicious at all. Okie doke. The 3/3 can hold them back for a while, though, which is nice, and then by invitation only can do some work, maybe. Of course, it can't be countered. That's just how the Howlpack Piper rolls. And now none of their creatures can be countered, essentially. It's a beautiful thing, Howlpack Piper, isn't it? Just a thing of beauty. Can't exile it because it costs 4. So much trouble. So much trouble. Oh my gosh. Just losing to Howlpack Piper is just a vibe. Oh man. I know it's going to help them accelerate out, but I just don't want to have to deal with that. Because I'm quite a ways away from my buy invitation only. At least according to my knowledge. I don't know how long it's going to take me to draw it. 2 lands. Could be a while. Huh. And because they're getting card advantage from this, it's just trouble. Oh, there's trouble, alright. Oh, they're flipping it back to daytime. Come on, land. I need you. No! Oh, it's so brutal. Just so their guy doesn't flip back. Yep. That is okay. I need to draw my lands now. There's one land. Let's get -3. No! Oh dear. Okay, it's all going to come down to whether I draw land in the next 2 draw steps. I think that's as much time as I'll have. Gonna try to get every ounce that I can out of this one. Okay. So... oh, I'm just dead. Dang it! 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I was dead anyway. Dang it! Oh, man. That was frustrating. Oh, man. Real frustrating. Oh, well. That's how it goes sometimes. Don't know what I could have gone for the sweeper that turn, but I was going to be really far behind. I just missed land drops. Didn't get to play my spells optimally. And then they played around my sweeper randomly by just not playing their guy because they had their removal spell to hold up. Overall, the deck performed well, though. It's always rough to not spawn into Mythic on your last win of a run because playing in Mythic is purely negative EV because there's no way to ever climb in Mythic, it feels like, once you're in Mythic. So I try to just play in Mythic as little as possible if I ever want to qualify for anything. Being at 1041 probably means I won't be able to qualify because of rank decay and the way the season works. Because you have to be like top 1200. And so my rank will easily decay by 150 points in the next like 3 days or however long is left in the season. So if I did want to qualify, I'd have to play another run in Mythic. But that's just how it goes. I guess I could have just conceded to save the rank right after I made it in. I considered doing it, but that's not as fun for a video. Anyway, close run, almost got a trophy. Really got the Geistlight Snare going. So if you made it all the way to the end of the video, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag snaring my way to victory, because I don't know, Geistlight Snare was pretty great. You could also just leave hashtag clutch board, because the board was the really key part of winning a lot of those games. If you did like it, remember to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe for more content, comment below with your questions, thoughts, feedback. Check out the Patreon to support my content, and then find a bunch of other cool stuff linked in the description. And yeah, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.